What does safari mean to you? The definition of safari is an expedition to observe or hunt wild animals in their natural habitat. And as definitions go, that is pretty fitting. However, here at the Lost Executive, we've got a long-standing rule that we will not promote, advocate or market any businesses involved in hunting, be it commercial or otherwise. Although we understand that on occasions, culling is necessary in large populations with limited space, we believe this should be done by trained professionals and not the general public who want to collect trophies. The control of animal populations, culling and the role of hunting in maintaining these numbers is a subject for a separate video. The Lost Executive's position is not to support commercial hunting, partly because it is very easy to tar them all with the same brush. Beyond this, if you'd like to discuss it, we'd be happy to chat in the comments. Let's move on. Before we embark, I wanted to welcome any new viewers to another video from the Lost Executive, the channel where we highlight the coolest things that our team have been writing about. This includes focus on industries and business, as well as individual stories of greatness and just general things to educate and entertain you. If you want to show your support, please subscribe to this channel, click on that bell icon and give this video a like. Also, check out some of our other videos, as well as our magazines and websites. All of the information is below this video. My name is Hope, and I think it's about time that we got started, isn't it? There are hundreds of businesses who like to introduce the beauty of wild animals in their natural habitat to eager travellers and adventure seekers. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on the African safari, more specifically in East Africa, including places like Tanzania, Kenya, Ghana and Rwanda. Safari is definitely a global term that realistically can be applied to any sort of tour that has a little bit of adventure and exposure to the elements. However, that's just way too much for a single video, so we're going to come back to it in the future. In today's video, I'm going to give you a general overview of safari, but if you want some more information, head over to our website where you can find articles specifically on safari under our extensive safari category. Through our travel and hospitality magazine, The Logbook, we've had the privilege of working with dozens of safari companies of all shapes and all sizes. From one-man bands who can manage small groups of intrepid explorers to massive operations that employ thousands of people to create an adventure that can last up to a month. Most people have an African safari on their bucket list of things to do before they die. And for the majority of people, they're only going to do it once, so they have to get it right. That's why we recommend that before you set off into the epic African wilderness, you ask yourself two things. 1, what is it you want to see? And 2, who are you going to book your safari with to ensure you see said thing? For the majority of the time, safaris take place in Africa, specifically in Kenya and Tanzania. And believe me when I tell you, the Lion King, not exaggerated, my friend. No. There is more to see than can be seen. There is more to do than can be done. It is huge. Huge. So when you're considering what you're interested in seeing, you really do need to chew down to the bone on this to get it right. For example, would you rather see birds or herds? Is there a specific animal that you're interested in seeing? Maybe a giraffe or a rhino or a hippo? Are you a foodie? Are you a mountain climber? Do you prefer sea life and snorkeling? Maybe you're a photographer who would just like to capture the perfect image to just immortalise your whole safari experience. Or maybe you've dreamt of laying with your eyes closed in a tent, listening to all the noises the savannah makes at night time. And that's just the outside. We haven't even started on the cities, the nightlife, the native tribes, the food, the sunsets, the sunrises, the beautiful vastness of the night sky with all its beautiful stars. And you can see everything in 3 dimensions, and it's just, you could just fall into it if you weren't holding to the ground by gravity. Seriously, more to do, more to see. Secondly, it is worthwhile that you take the time to speak to the right safari guide or company. Most of the time, safari operators do offer a safari template. Now this is really good for people, perhaps like me, who are a bit indecisive, not really sure what we want to see. We want to go on a safari, don't really know what we want to look at. Birds or herds, I couldn't make my mind up. And these companies will try to accommodate for that and show you a little bit of everything. There's also bespoke safaris. Now these can take anything from a couple of days to several weeks, and they'll try and show you what the country can offer. If there is something that you specifically want to see, do make sure that you say something to the company or the safari guide, because more often than not, they will try to accommodate and they will try to advise. Usually, expeditions involve going out into the wilderness and trying to find some wild animals. Now, there is no guarantee that you'll actually see the animals, and that's not because of the safari guide not being very good at their job. It's because these animals don't like sticking to a rigid structure. They're not going to come out and play just because you say so. While saying that though, a lot of these safari companies rely heavily on online reviews, so they will try and take you to the best places to get that experience had, so that you leave a good review. It's a win-win. Many safari businesses offer complete solutions, and this includes helping you sort out your accommodation. Now there is a lot of accommodation choices. Luxury hotels, glamping resorts, quintessential safari tents, basic camping sites. This is a highly developed part of the industry with millions of visitors every single year, so they are very well prepared. Essentially though, the accommodation choice is down to you and what you fancy. But rest assured, the accommodation is just as much a part of the adventure as the safari itself. Masters of their trade, Indigo Safaris offer tailor-made wildlife tours, beach breaks and diving holidays for those individuals and groups seeking their perfect bucket list adventure. Even with one of the most diverse portfolios of places to see, stay and visit, it's their passion for safaris and their intimate, in-depth knowledge that really makes them stand out. This translates into unique and special experiences because every safari is tailor-made and shaped around, well, you, the clients. And every single client has the opportunity to take full advantage of the team's experience, insights and suggestions. And this creates opportunities for the unexpected and the wonderful to happen. For example, watching a lioness and her little baby cub enjoying a late night supper, or watching a pod of pachyderms drinking from a pool.
What happened to the cub? It fell on the back.
To be hungry, very empty. You need to feed on something, I think. So this leopard looked to be more active.
Led by founder Christopher Bartlett, Indigo Safaris are dedicated to sustainable tourism and gives back to the countries, the communities and the locations that they send their clients to. This includes pledging 30% of their profits to organisations, causes and charities who are dedicated to developing the areas and sustaining the natural heritage. Not just the wildlife, but the people living there too, giving everyone the chance to do their little bit for sustainable tourism. They have safaris for all size of pockets, from the low-key to marvellous luxury, and they're ready to turn your African dream into a reality. They're open for business right now.
Okay. Shall we start heading back?
So, if you want to have the perfect safari experience, a safari experience shaped solely around your desires, the one that you've always dreamed of And if you're passionate about sustainable tourism, well, I strongly suggest that you get in touch with Indigo Safaris. Remember, your best adventure is just waiting for you. Safaris and the associated tours that come with them have been working long and hard to be sustainable. It makes good business sense because everything is driven by the ecosystem. So being eco-conscious will mean a good ecosystem and therefore better for trade. Trade and tourism is also a big part of the GDP of Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, and most other southern and northern African nations. And the best way to maintain healthy ecosystems is to not get too involved. That's why the best safari companies have a hands-off approach. There are plenty of ways they've achieved this too. There are now self-drive safaris. You use your own car and you head to locations such as the Kruger National Park, which is one of the biggest national parks in southern Africa, which has a landmass the size of Wales, and enjoy a do-it-yourself type of safari, where you drive between different destinations. These can be really exciting and great, but they can also be a little bit hit and miss if you're not sure what you're looking for. Most safari operators nowadays come equipped with vehicles like open-top Land Rovers or Jeeps that can handle more adventurous terrain, and then they'll take you to really good vantage points so you can see the animals in their natural habitat without disturbing them. And if you've seen YouTube videos of people on safari, for example, you will have seen that more often than not, the animals actually come over themselves to say hi. Then you have some safaris taking place in hot air balloons. How crazy is that? You can see all the action from the sky. These are completely safe, but if you prefer to have your feet on the ground or you are scared of flying, I recommend that you give these a miss because you don't want to take away from the safari experience. A lot of safari operators nowadays are investing in technology. For example, 3D camera technology, sound technology, and of course there are entire safari tours that are now dedicated to photography. Photography is so key here, not just because of a marketing strategy. Think about it, social media, a good image on there, people are going to feel inspired and therefore book their own safari. But there's also a case of educating people. These pictures that can be captured show the beauty and the wonder of these natural worlds, and it promotes this idea of looking after our environment and natural heritage, and that will hopefully mean that people will be educated and aware to look after their ecosystem for our grandchildren and their grandchildren. Photographic safaris are the only type of shooting we will support here at the Lost Executive. Ding! It's a sad truth that many of these communities within the area are not well developed. For example, Kenya. It's the most well developed nation in East Africa, yet 1/3 of the population are living under the international poverty line. There are many reasons for this, and we haven't today got time to go into all of those. But what I will say is that in many cases, these areas are the very places where the leading safari operators are springing up. For the most part in Africa, there is a natural culture of entrepreneurship, family values, and a natural approach to hospitality. And this in part is why economists have said that East Africa is a brilliant place for investors to put their money for development, especially when it comes to green energy, conservation, and hospitality. Many safaris and tour guides are now including these very places in their itineraries, allowing the travellers to see the zest for life and the brilliant hospitality that Africa is famous for. So safaris play a key role in protection of the natural habitats, supporting the local community, educating the foreign visitors, and just a general appreciation for the world. This industry is completely tied to the natural environment and the continued protection of the species that live there. This means that everyone involved is invested in the fight against climate change, wants to protect the habitats, is for development of peripheral communities, and wants to be as green as possible. And we can support this too by either going on safari and ticking it off our bucket list, or by supporting these businesses who encourage sustainability online or through social media. These guides love to talk about what they do, and it's impossible to not feel inspired by that. Who knows? Maybe you'll feel inspired to start your own safari in your home area. Thank you so much for watching this video today. We really hope that you found it educational and interesting. Here at The Lost Executive, for years we've been promoting the very best safari companies, and we've got so much information on our website. We've got a whole safari category, so if you're thinking about going on safari, we recommend that you head over to the website and check that out. There's exclusive interviews and loads of information on there for you. Before you go though, don't forget to click subscribe so you never miss any of our videos. Click that bell icon as well and give this video a like. Oh, and wear a mask.